Already this morning we've seen a very, very entertaining clash between Scots College and Mana. Went the way of Scots, and in the process they booked themselves a place in tonight's semi-finals. Andrew Dewhurst, very proud to be with you, bringing you this coverage of schools basketball, and just great Anthony Corbin alongside as well. And Corbs, we're just buzzing to be able to call some basketball and to see some hoops for these young men. And I know the same is happening around the country with any tournaments that are able to be up and running in this COVID environment. So just a delight to be here. And what a gym here at St. John's. This is a fantastic facility, isn't it?
Yeah, it is amazing. I mean, like if we show our history of Mel Young, Mel Young's first year qualifying St. John's, they didn't have a gym. They used to train down the road at Sacred Heart Girls College, and it's a show court. It's beautiful. You've got your pleach seating, and you know, the kids are playing hoops, and that's what it's all about, is our youth enjoying themselves. Great start this morning, and I think it's something we've got to pick up on. That St. John's and Scots College played a 7 p.m. game last night. As per your interview or post game, Scots were a little lethargic starting this morning due to that late game, and you know, are we going to see the same from the host school this morning with St. John's? I guess you'd have to say overwhelming pre-game favourites to take this encounter out.
Yeah, St. John's College and New Plymouth boys, our next encounter in the semi-finals have already been decided. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but 5 o'clock and 7 o'clock. Let's look at this match first. St. John's College, and there are some names to look out for here. Akiva McBurney Griffin, of course, played in the Cells NBL Showdown and played pretty well. Also, look for Cale Robinson and Finn Lally, of course. Finn is pondering his next move next year. Will he go to the States? Will he stay in New Zealand? He's got some decisions, but that is their roster, coached by Pookie Lendon, and they would go into this one as favourites. Their opposition, New Plymouth boys, and they've been competitive, in particular against Mana College. As we have a look at the New Plymouth boys roster, players to watch here: Carlin Davison and Riley Tudor. If they're going to get some open looks, Riley Tudor is likely to be the guy. Let's call him Tudor the shooter. Is that okay? Can we go there? Does that work?
Sounds good to me, mate.
Dave Bublitz has control of this team, and Carlin Davison was also involved as a member of the Taranaki Mountaineers at the Sal's NBL Showdown. So there might be some weary legs. I know in talking with Dave Bublitz, I said, is everyone available and suited up? He said yes, but just don't expect to see everyone on the floor. So I think there's a couple of aches, a couple of minor injuries that might see him just have to limit the minutes with a couple of his players. Such a proud history here. St. John's, now the host team, and this is all about remembering Mel Young, the Mel Young Memorial Tournament, an invitational tournament in light of the disruption to the secondary schools basketball program throughout New Zealand. Regional tournaments essentially not able to be played. If you can't have regionals right around the country, you can't have your AA and your A championships and your tournaments. And of course, Auckland still under level 2 restrictions at the moment. But well done, Basketball New Zealand. Well done to the schools, and well done to St. John's for hosting and getting some basketball being played on the hardwood. So is this one, Anthony, just as much about St. John's? They'll pay full respect to New Plymouth boys, I'm sure, but are they just managing themselves through to that semi-final later today?
Well, I think they've got to be careful here, because the one thing about any team Dave Bublitz coaches is there's going to be a bit of attitude and a bit of effort. He'll expect that from his players. Cullen Davison, I was impressed with his performances in the NBL Showdown this year. So, you know, nothing better than getting the scalp of the local team, you know, before dropping into whatever playoff scenario. For St. John's, I think their plan of attack will be to get control of this game early, control of the scoreboard, then rotate, you know, which is a pretty deep squad. And as we can look out there, that's a pretty big starting 5, isn't it, height-wise?
Wow.
Andrew, they've got some height there. You know, you've got Akiva, you've got Cale, you've got Finn, you've got Young. Max Pierce, you know, adds a bit of height, and Kobe, you know, is the main ball handler. Kobe rotates out. Finn Lally will be that point forward for them. So this is a big schoolboy team. But again, as we saw in that first game this morning, it's not about how big you are, it's about the attitude and effort you bring to the game, and that's what New Plymouth have got to roll out here. Is we're not here to make the numbers up, we're here to play ball, and we're going to give it 100%.
So it is St John's in the predominantly white uniform, and New Plymouth boys in their grey. And it is St John's who control from the tip, and already immediately sense the structure in this St John's team. They get a good open look to get us underway, but can't make a drop. Hale Robinson. And New Plymouth
straight at them in the transition opportunity and attacking the rim and going, straight at Akiva.
And here's the hustle, here's the energy from New Plymouth that you spoke about. That one just rolls away, but one of those smaller players overcomes the height disadvantage and picks up the rebound.
Yeah, it is. It's just attitude and effort. Two biggies.
Turnover there, though, in the hands of Finn Lally. And foul is called just over the half court.
Yeah, well, Davison really botting up on Finn. I mean, he's a key for New Plymouth boys. His fouls have got to be good ones.
Well, Finn Lally is one of many players at this tournament that have scouts watching, that have opportunities in front of him. McBurney Griffin certainly is one of them, but twice he comes up short. Maybe that's the weary legs.
Well, again, both those layups and floaters were with either hand, so he's using his left and right hand. Again, just a little bit of that, flatness in the early start, and New Plymouth are just bringing energy.
Finn Lally is on a few depth charts, Corbs, I tell you, including the Tall Blacks. Pero Cameron, head coach, and his coaching team always looking for the next generation of talent, and he's one name that features on that list.
He does. I mean, give Pero and Paulie before him credit. They both make a point of identifying young players to bring into that Tall Black environment. I was at Under-17 Nationals a couple of years ago in Wellington, where Paulie was interested in Finn there because of his length, but also other players in this group. And across the country, these are coaches that like to bring young men in and let them experience that Tall Black culture, which you're a part of, Andrew, in your role with the Tall Blacks, and you know how they like to support the younger players in the game.
Foul is called. This is a great start from New Plymouth, and I can tell you there's a shot of their bench. They are up and applauding, and they have really started this full of energy. And Carlin Davison was the man who made the basket, the young man. Another with big raps on him, but this is a great team effort. Hustle, energy on the drive, and just getting a little too caught up under the basket on that occasion, Trent Clarkson.
Yeah, and again, with New Plymouth, it's that dribble relocation. They're doing a good job of it. Players sliding into the tail light, as you'd call them, and so when they kick the ball out, teammates are in open positions.
Olsen martyred it with the pass in the paint. He's got to be careful he doesn't get locked down in there, though. And again, New Plymouth, they're forcing St John's right down to the end of the shot clock. And, well managed.
Time
McBurney Griffin
second.
Just got it away in time.
Nice drive.
Corner three. Never really on target on that occasion, but it continues. Good start here for New Plymouth. They're getting good looks. They're getting the looks they want, I'm sure. Lally drives to the hoop and draws the foul. It'll be called on 12, Tom Paulgrain.
Yeah, Finn's really worked on that ball handling so he can be that point forward. Last night against Scots College, he was the player that was a point of difference, I believe, in the game, with his ability to get to the rim off the dribble.
And one comes up a little short. All tied up 4 apiece.
Nice drive. Again. New Plymouth are moving the ball well around the perimeter.
Free ball, and there's the threat. If you're going to leave them all alone, in particular Carlin Davison.
Got to get a hand up on him. Plymouth are just bringing energy. They're a smaller team, but they're just crashing the glass and getting offensive boards and just getting in the face of these St. John's players.
And again, they get a hand in here and just deflect out of bounds.
9.4 on the shot clock and a baseline opportunity here for St. John's. Setting up in a box set. Oh no, it's a change up to a stack now because of the zone.
Already counting it down. The seconds on the shot clock. You can hear the bench of St. John's, and that sees a rush shot and a foul on the rebound. So just a little bit of tension here within the St. John's lineup. They realise they are in a real battle.
Yeah, Kobe Olsen just his enthusiasm. He drove off the low shot clock and followed up his missed basket and jamming that defensive rebounder, but he's just got to learn to take the hands out because it's an easy call for the referees.
Olsen Matara has made way for Panere Waitai. And again, they go from distance. It looked good, didn't it, out of the hands?
It certainly did.
Just a little bit too much on it. They go wide again into the corner, and they drain this one.
Again, their spacing is very good.
They are doing everything, offense, defense, and it wouldn't surprise to see an early timeout at some point here from St. John's, or does Pookie Lendon just let his players figure this out for the moment? That might be the better learning opportunity, as the basket is good for Max Pearce, and they need a couple just to calm things down. What a start this is for New Plymouth. Foul call.
You just have to look at their matchup, St. John's, on Carlin Davison and who to put on him. He likes a matchup against Akiva going at him off the dribble, so they're going to have to make a change up there and potentially put a smaller player on him to defend him off the dribble.
New Plymouth boys, we just see there William Polgrain, the younger of the two Polgrain brothers, coming into the game.
That's Jaden Lendon subbing in for St. John's and for Max Pearce.
Waitai injecting a little urgency, a little pace. They need control, they need good looks, and that's not a bad one. McBurney Griffin, he's already shown that he can mix it with the men in the Sal's NBL Showdown. Turnover here, Lally.
Yeah. Knows his man's behind him.
Polgrain just does enough to deflect that out of bounds and slow the offense down. As we have a change now with Jordan Riddick. In fact, it's Tahora Tawhara Crown coming in for St. John's.
Yeah, they took the early three there. They still had 15 on the shot clock, but as a result of that, their main guard for New Plymouth in the key on.
Lally with the size advantage. No shots.
No.
Good, clear instruction from the referee.
Yeah. Finn is a tough matchup, with his height and reach, he can really overpower those smaller players on the perimeter.
Inbounds to McBurney Griffin. He goes back outside, but again, they're on the hunt, trying to get into the paint, use that size advantage, and they draw the foul again. Can't make the bucket. But they are putting New Plymouth under pressure. Foul is called on Trent Clarkson.
Andrew, what do we think of the boot game of these teams? Who's going to win the award for the most stylish pair of boots on the floor?
I tell you what, there's a fair bit of stylish ink work as well. I mean, you look at the boots, and I guess listen, the kids love that too, don't they?
Oh yeah, boot game, show game.
Wasn't that amazing with the Michael Jordan documentary, how the old shoes, the original shoes, if you like, that he first made famous. Suddenly they became all the rage again, and if you had an old pair that were in good shape sitting in the cupboard somewhere, suddenly you had a high-ticket item sitting there for trading.
Yes, you do.
Lally.
Nice drive.
Great defense, though. Met right at the rim.
Yep. Just going to learn to move on to the next play. Referees don't call it. You've got to keep playing.
Oh, New Plymouth boys slam it home. This is such a high-energy performance washer it was, who slammed it away.
Double team trapping action on the ball.
2-on-1 break. McBurney Griffin can't defend both. And this is superb from New Plymouth boys, and they extend now that lead even more, and they press, almost cause a turnover.
Yeah, the trapping action's just rattling St. John's a little bit here. You know, they're double teaming the ball, and they've picked off a cross-court pass and had a committed a foul there. But again, they're just bringing the energy and the attitude, and it's rubbing off on St. John's. Of course, now we're in the shooting penalty. With energy comes fouls, unfortunately.
Clarkson it was with the second personal, but 15 foul. So Lendon goes to the line. Now, I don't know. I'm hoping I'm not throwing you under the bus, because I assume that you do. Jaden Lendon, Cookie Lendon.
Yes, father. Jaden is the son of Pookie, who's an NBL legend, finals MVP back when the late Murray McMahon coached the Waikato Pistons to win a championship.
Turnover that time. St. John's a little more organised on D.
Yeah. So again, that we saw it this morning in the first game, and as New Plymouth bringing the energy. Nice pass.
Yeah, well played. That wasn't by accident.
Yep. They read the double team. They got the middle catch, and nice pass for the layup.
Looking for the three, and they're happy to take it, and all the more happy when it's Carlin Davison who's shooting it.
Nice drive.
They've got to build that wall quickly, though, New Plymouth on defence. They've got to get back and get stops.
Yep. It is, and both teams really. I mean, for St. John's, they've got to focus on how to stop Davidson. I mean, Robinson's on him, playing denial defence.
Plenty of fouls in this one now from both lineups. Jaden Lendon with the personal, first for him.
For St. John's, that's their fourth team foul. So next team foul, New Plymouth will be on the free throw line.
Tom Paulgrain wearing 12 is back in for New Plymouth. Oh, goodness me, what a move to the hoop.
Very good.
Sparkling stuff, and changing the handle mid-air. Well, if they can maintain this for the duration, New Plymouth boys, they're a chance. They're a real chance. Hello, look out. Yeah, slam it home. St. John's making a statement of their own. Cale Robinson.
And they got a turnover.
Well, the coach had the ball, so it's a good time to call a timeout. So you can't play without this. So wants to have a chat, does Dave Bublitz. But this is a sparkling start to this game from, in particular, New Plymouth boys. But despite how well they've played here, the lead is only 6. And that's testament to St. John's. Haven't had a great start, but they've hung tough. They've made some big baskets. The question mark here for Dave Bublitz and his team is when you play this high level, this high pace, this high intensity, you're going to have down moments, aren't you? You've got to maintain that intensity the whole way through.
Yeah, and look, a preconceived weakness being their potentially their lack of size is actually a strength, because they're applying pressure up the floor. St. John's have made some adjustments. They're reversing the ball, getting that middle catch, and they're getting layups. And Cale Robinson's being that key on that middle catch, his ability to either pass the ball or get to the rim. But it's been a high energy start, and I mean, for New Plymouth, don't change what you're doing. Maybe change the defence up if Dave wants to, but if you let St. John's walk the ball up the floor with the size they've got, they're just going to pound the ball inside. Akiva has not had many catches yet, and that's testament to New Plymouth's full court ability defence.
Really impressed with the tactical appreciation of all four teams now that we've seen today. They know their strengths, they know their weaknesses, and they're trying to employ a game plan to take advantage of one and minimise the other. I don't think that was seen in recent times anyway any better than it was with the Tall Blacks at the World Cup with Paulie Henare and Pero Cameron, Ross McMains, the Brains Trust employing a in-your-face, high-pace, just a crazy tempo of basketball that international teams, well, they struggled to cope with it, and it was playing to the team's strengths.
What was the term? The dominoes effect of the transition game the Tall Blacks ran. Great defense to get back and challenge that shot on the backboard. Nice drive.
We go back outside. This has been a feature of their opening play in this first quarter, New Plymouth. They've been prepared to go inside and then back out. They're putting a bit of confusion in St. John's minds as to how they set up defensively.
And that's Blake Harton. He's actually was at high school in the States earlier in the year and came back before the COVID arrived in the US, and he's back at school here. And he's a player that's going to work well. Call him a workhorse. He's already made an impact with that nice short corner pass to Akiva. He's a kid that just comes in and does all the dirty work for St. John's.
Off the glass, basket is good. Carlin Davison, he's a bit of a one-man wrecking machine at the moment in what is a superb team effort, if that makes sense. McBurney Griffin, catch and shoot from the elbow, no good.
Yeah, but he's doing it both ends of the floor, you know, and give credit to his teammates who are giving him opportunities to get to the basket, but also as a group defensively, they're battling well.
Corner three comes up short. New Plymouth, though, get the rebound. Holgrain, another opportunity. Back-to-back attempts, and the second one is drained by Jet Hidame.
Yeah. Open shots. They're making them. Scarlett Robinson off the ball at the top. To Akiva. Slip action, which they didn't quite execute. What's the call there going to be? Okay, last play, 16.7 seconds. What will New Plymouth boys do here? Lally back in for Griffin. Last play of the quarter.
And it has been a superb quarter for New Plymouth. They might be out of semi-final contention, but they desperately want to finish on a high. That one catches the front of the iron. Oh, they had more time. I'm not sure. In fact, they really had to get it up there. So they were better than me at monitoring that shot clock as the clock ticked down to quarter time, and it is New Plymouth boys. Superb start from Dave Bublett's team, and they lead it at the first quarter break, 28-19.
It's an exciting time right now for basketball in New Zealand. We're extremely grateful to have so many kids wanting to play the sport. Numbers are really booming, and particularly at the high school level, we have so many teams wanting to compete in our national championships. Where we're going is we would like to improve our depth. We think we have some outstanding talent in our under 15 and under 17 age group. Now we want to see if we can actually grow those numbers and try to get players competing against one another. So as a country, we're going to become stronger and stronger. And the goal at the end of the day is to try to have some of our senior teams win gold medals at pinnacle events, world championships and Olympic Games, and for our junior teams to also be standing on a podium at the end of a world championship.
We're back at the basketball gym here at St. John's College in Hamilton for the hosting of the Mel Young Memorial. Just saw at the start of that little ad break there that some of the upcoming action, the Schick 3x3 Cup, 12 to 14 November at ILT Stadium in Invercargill. Looking forward to heading down there to commentate the women's tournament. Corb's going to be a lot of fun. That 3x3 is just out of this world stuff, and of course part of the Tokyo Olympic Games schedule. Get your tickets now through Ticketek. And also want to point out the Sal's NBL 18 in 18. Going to be 18 games, 18 nights. Auckland Dream, Harbour Breeze, Waikato Wizards, Capital Swish, Otago Gold Rush, and the Canterbury Wildcats. Keep an eye out for more details on that women's 18 and 18.
Well, the intent from St. John's is, I think they've been given a wake-up call in this first quarter, and good defensive pressure on and off the ball.
Good penetration, just missing the layup though. Tell you what, he was headed into some tall timber there. Was Jet hit him, mate.
Certainly did. St. John's did a good job there. If that on ball, they double teamed and stung the ball carrier, which really upset the flow for New Plymouth.
3 ball off the dribble, no good for Tai Wetiti. And New Plymouth come back straight at them. Fast break offense and draw the foul at the basket. Going to be called on 8 Jaden Lendon. Second personal.
Yep.
Clarkson on the line. How long can they maintain this pace of play, this intensity, New Plymouth boys? If Dave Bubblets can rely on going deep into his roster, then why not for the entire 40 minutes?
Well, that's going to be the key to it. I mean, they own the first quarter, and looks like they're not backing off. They're staying in that pressure D and that trapping defense, and they're forcing St. John's into pushing them. Okay, just jumped in there. That's a foul, but they're just taking St. John's out of their comfort zone, which was something Scots did not do to St. John's last night.
Foul called on Jacob Carr, first personal. In the act of shooting though, so Finn Lally will go to the line. Current member of the junior Tall Blacks. Another one of these great prospects with just a brilliant physiology, the length that he has. And of course, most, if not all of these players at 15, 16, 17, maybe some 18 years of age, they're still growing. Corner 3 is good. Goodness me, this is a wonderful start, New Plymouth.
Well, bringing the energy, they're getting a lot of productivity out of that dribble kick action to the corner.
Wetiti under the basket, but shut down. 1, 2, 3, 4 fakes, and eventually they take one of them.
Yep. Blake Hart again doing his job down on that low post. These New Plymouth guards are creating a lot of problems. Nice drive and the kick to the corner again.
Well, this is beautiful. If this drops, that is beautiful basketball. That is just so pretty. You draw it up, but it has to be executed.
Yeah. Go to the rim.
3-second violation, so New Plymouth just continue to extend. 14 points the lead.
Yep. Leave shooters open, that's what they do. Nice pass.
And the basket is good. You look at their performances so far. They were beaten by Scots 114-86. Went down against Mana by 2. There's a hands foul here, just reaching in Jacob Carr. And referee not taking any chat either, and neither should they. Explaining very clearly. Dave Bublett's there just repeating that message to his players. Good coaching, just saying, guys, if that's what's going to be called, just get your hands up, get them out of there.
Keeper with a very strong catch on that baseline out of bounds play. He's pretty much weight roomed his player on the catch. He's got him out of the way and went strongly to the rim. Nice dribble drive action.
And again, you talk about fingers in the cookie jar. I think this is on Olsen Martela, is it?
Yeah.
Third personal.
These new Plymouth guards are just relentless, aren't they, attacking the rim on the dribble drive action and the relocation, all those corner passes, and they're really stretching and moving the defence.
Well, and they're like for like. I mean, Clarkson and Hideme, they're cut from the same cloth, aren't they? They're fast. They've shown they can hit a triple if they're open.
Yep.
They can drive into the paint. So just asking questions all the while of St. John's. And as you alluded to before the tip-off here, that Dave Bublitz is always going to have a team well-drilled, well-coached.
Bringing the energy and the 9 AM game. It's something coaches dread. It's a good hustle. Two referees, they've called it possession to St. John's.
It was a little bit scrappy from New Plymouth, but credit St. John's. They were right up and in their faces.
What we got again? Oh, they read the shot clock. Yeah, they reset it to the 24.
So shot clock, 14.
I think it goes back to a comment you said earlier, Andrew, is how long can New Plymouth maintain this energy at what cost and price?
Looking for the alley-oop. They got the alley, but no oop from Lally.
Yeah, nice pass. Corner 3 again.
This one comes up just a little bit short.
St. John's on walk up now.
Lally.
Nice crossover.
Crossover dribble. And Weteri really could, should, and would wanted to have done better there.
Yep, I'm sure he will.
Just acknowledge that, though. Just went straight to Finn Lally and just acknowledged that to his teammates, saying your effort deserved an assist on the stat sheet.
The outcome for St. John's, shooting foul, 2 free throws, chip away at this lead.
Such a wonderful array of talent coming through the ranks, and we're only seeing just a small sample size here, of course, at the Mel Young Memorial. Thoughts are with the Auckland teams, who at Auckland currently in level 2. They're still facing restrictions, and all teams, all players, especially those in their last year, as Lally drives. Good D, great D. What's the rule here? Travel. Wow, I tell you what, and Carlin Davison enjoyed that.
Yeah,
Got back as the help defense, and it was just as well he did get there. It's just an acknowledgement to those players, especially last year high school students who are missing their last shot at a Nationals, and just everything was done, I know, to try and get those tournaments up and underway, but it's been a crazy old year, hasn't it? You can't blame anyone for what's taken place this year.
I think you just got to commend, our sports community, families, everybody just, taking a positive out of what has been a tough situation. And Lally for 3, which he misses. Parnetti's chasing down. Robinson with the help. St. John's have really just got to maintain their composure here and amp up that defensive pressure. Things like boards they can't afford.
three from Davison. It was a rare miss, but Washer crashing the boards. Foul call, was that called on Lally?
Yes, his first, I believe.
First personal.
And third team foul.
Not one that, as a coach, you would mind, though, when you're scrapping for a rebound like that. Possession was there to be won.
Certainly was. They can't let Davison curl like that. The ball.
They're lucky to get that in, almost with an inbounds violation there, but they do now. The open player is Davison. Clever little pass, just delayed things in the air, didn't he? Polgrain couldn't back him up, though, Tom Polgrain, on that occasion.
Griffin's presence inside sort of altered the offensive decision-making there.
Still New Plymouth with this 11-point lead. McBurney Griffin cuts it down now, back into single figures.
It is. Down to 9. Walk up on the long ball.
St John's just a little more organised, or possibly it's the energy levels for New Plymouth, understandably, just dropping away a little.
It was smart defence by Crown there. He was on Davison and he slid in to help, but really stayed attached to the shooter. That's a timeout. St John's. They've really, chipped away at this lead.
So St John's call the timeout, and they are just calmly and with some level of assurance just going about their work, trying to chip into this lead. It did extend out into double figures for New Plymouth boys, but St John's, knowing that they've got the firepower to just stay in contact. But this has been a wonderful performance so far from New Plymouth boys, having lost both of their games to this point of the tournament, out of semi-final contention, but certainly showing that they are worthy contenders at this Mel Young Memorial Tournament.
Well, that's it. I mean, if you look at the results yesterday, that was a very small loss to Mana, and they've come in, they've made some adjustments. Always pleasing for a coach when you've run sets that create shots for players are knocking them down. 9-point margin. The Plymouth boys are up. Be interesting to see what St John's are going to go to in their next set.
Just quickly updating from the other pool as well, that matches played so far. Tawa, 2 from 2, 74-57 over Napier boys and 81-59 over Hamilton boys. Rotorua, they also are 2 from 2, so that clash today between Tawa and Rotorua will decide top place in Pool A, but Rotorua with wins over Napier and Hamilton. And essentially our semi-final matchups are already known. 5 o'clock this afternoon, it'll be St John's against Tawa. And at 7 o'clock, Rotorua against Scots College. We'll have those live streamed for you, as well as 3rd, 4th at 9 tomorrow morning, and the final at 11 a.m. tomorrow morning. Foul called.
Yeah.
Called on 12, Tom Polgrain.
So I presume Rotorua defeated Tawa this morning at 9 a.m. Which has created that crossover for tonight, subject to performances in second games.
Finn Lally's reached in again here. So a couple of quick fouls for Finn Lally in the last few moments. We'll see if he takes a seat as a result.
Yeah,
and he does.
With his height and reach, that he does draw attention to himself reaching in on the ball.
The Plymouth boys need a strong finish here. It's rather ironic we say that. They're in the lead by 9, but the style of game they're playing here, they need another burst of energy. Strong finish to the half to capitalise on the very good work, and that 3 ball. Well, that said to me, maybe tired legs to just...
Yeah, and St John switched to a zone there, and really what summed that play up was the effort play from Waitai to get in there as the small guard and get that defensive rebound.
Good hustle
and this is
here.
Carl Robinson's game here. He's just relentless.
Well, and here's the energy turnaround. This is what New Plymouth have to be wary of.
.15 on the shot clock. They've got that baseline cutter, which Kale Robinson read really well. Again, he's out on the open court. He'll go to the rim. And
they just got out of control, though.
yeah.
And, St. John's, I think the initial decision here from the referee was St. John's maintain possession. So has there been a touch? We'll find out, because there's a timeout for everyone here to just gather their thoughts and composure. And, did Dave Bublitz call this? I think he did, and I think it's a good timeout, because I think he senses just the energy levels have fallen away a little bit here, understandably, given the approach they're taking, New Plymouth boys, and they just somehow need to regather and go again. And I just thought the signs when Davison wasn't prepared to drive, they were just too quick to accept that three. Really, it was more of a hopeful play. I've got tired legs, coach, and I think Bublitz has seen that.
Good time out to take and just reorganise, I guess, what a zone offence is going to be. And, you know, the first quarter and a half, his outside shooters have been hitting shots. Does he want to continue with that, or does he want to look for some inside action?
Mr. Pookie Lendon. What a career he had, and the work that he's now doing with St. John's.
Well, he is coaching both the junior and senior teams, so he is putting a lot of work into this program, and they're getting the results.
So this has been turned around. Now the problem here is that they went into the timeout and ran a play. The coach said, "Okay, from the inbounds, let's go with this," and a little bit of an experience there, because someone should have been checking with the officials. Whose ball is it?
Yeah.
So anyway, it is New Plymouth ball.
Dribble relocation, skip passes.
This time, Davison with the inbounds pass. And that's better decision making. Well done, Carlin Davidson, recognising the open teammate. McBurney Griffin off the foot. The referee saying it's also taken some contact off the New Plymouth foot on the way through.
I think these players need to be reminded the referee's made a call. There's no point having a conversation with them and objecting. It doesn't achieve anything. Just get on with the game.
Three ball from the corner, high arcing shots, brilliant stuff. It's that sort of a basket from Panere Waitai that will help his team get back in this. Not that sort of interior defense, though.
Yeah, a little slow on that rotation. Waitai is really disrupting New Plymouth up the floor. They just need to tighten up the back. Wise bringing the ball down.
Double team, McBurney, Griffin. Waitai shoots the three, and little layup in. Some real traffic there, showing an all-round game.
He's bringing the energy.
What's the response from New Plymouth? Corner three. Oh my goodness me, Tom Polgrain. Well, we don't have the stats, folks, but I'd love to see their numbers from deep. They certainly seem to be making more than they're missing.
Yeah. And really, that defensive closeout, there was nothing wrong with it. He got out and got a hand up.
Had a hand up.
Yeah, shot. It was a good shot. Basketball was the winner.
Finn Lally's going to check back in for St. John's.
Yeah.
Max Pearce heads to the bench.
Yep, and that's a shooting penalty. Free throws here. It's going to be crucial. This is going to be crucial for St. John's. They really need to sort of chop this back a little bit to about a 4 to 5 point margin by the half.
Referee's just going to check that we are in the penalty, and confirmation from our amazing team on the score bench. Doing a great job, not just here, but at other tournaments. Tournament being played in Te Araha as well over the next few days. Ernie Griffin, who made such a name for himself, such an impression in the Sal's NBL showdown. You know, a lot of people, Corbs, I was there courtside virtually every game throughout that Sal's NBL, and a lot of new names, a lot of new talent. And the likes of McBurney Griffin, when some people were told, oh yeah, he's a school kid, they just couldn't believe it. Oh, what an athletic block as well. Davison, both ends of the floor.
That's right, and this young man made an impression for the Taranaki team as well. And just a little reach. He's going to learn, take his hands out of the cookie jar, as we say. That's two free throws.
And both teams in the penalty here now, so it's New Plymouth's turn to go to the line.
But you are right, Andrew. A lot of, well, I guess we call them new faces because we had a lot of players returning from college in the USA. And I mean, for myself, it was a little bit of a trip down memory lane. You know, seeing the likes of Nico McCulloch, Ty Wynyard, Sam Timmins, Isaac Davidson, Isaiah Liafa, who I had at the Youth Olympics. You know, a good sort of 5 to 7 player spread who've been through our 3-on-3 program coming back from college, and they were good, you know, young men.
And the players on the back of that competition also that have picked up contracts. Isaiah Morihoho Liafa picking up a development contract, but he'll get minutes as a development player. Rest assured, he will get minutes over there at the Melbourne Phoenix. But even players the likes of a Jordan Nartai, I mean, we know Jordan's game. We know what he's done with the Breakers, but I think that's going to do him the power of good heading over to Cairns, a new opportunity.
Oh, it is, and I mean, he can utilise his strengths. We all know he's got a 3-point shot, but he's also a pretty good ball handler as well. So exciting opportunity for these guys, and it just shows there is a pathway for those that do not want to pursue college, what they can do in the game of basketball here in New Zealand and in Australia.
We're watching the next generation. Oh, Davison got up, faked the shot. Problem is he faked out his teammate as well.
The intent was good, it's just his teammate wasn't on the same page as him.
Foul called, and again, it's a reaching foul. It's just the enthusiasm. William Polgrain just couldn't resist. Third personal.
You know, for most of these young men, this is their first tournament of the year with what's happened with COVID. And is seeing a little bit of that enthusiasm rubbing off in their decision making.
Do you think they're sick of the word scrimmage?
Yes, they are.
Just give us a game, coach.
Nothing beats game fitness, and I think we've got to see that through, you know, tonight and tomorrow morning. 2 nice free throws from Robinson there. As they chop this back, you know, it's a 10-point lead. And
inside a minute now to the half, and they've maintained that distance. They established this lead in the first quarter, and they're now going deeper into the roster as well. There's Luke Hassel out there wearing the number 8, just offline with that 3 ball.
That well, that's smart. He really, there's a little bit of the old football head fake and contact. Does give them the ability to try and get that 2 for 1, so to speak. You know, with 21 seconds to go, clock stopped. He can organise if he wants to do something out of these free throws to get a steal.
One comes up short, and this again is a learning experience. I mean, both teams here are in the penalty, and you just can't give away a cheap foul. I mean, in a situation like this, try and get your body in front of the offensive player and go to the basket with them. Say to the player, make your basket. Good luck if you can, but don't put them on the line. I mean, it works out if they miss, of course, but you know, you've got to make them earn their points, and learning opportunity for these players. Shot clock, you can hear it counted out. Down to 5 seconds. Davison goes back outside. They've got to put the shot up. Hassel, high. Oh, thought about it and then said, nah, I'm not dropping for you. But nonetheless, it is a mightily impressive first half performance. The New Plymouth boys are scoring at will, it seems. They've had the 3 ball going. They've driven into the paint, and their energy, their enthusiasm and pace of play has caused St. John's real issues. Half-time, it's New Plymouth boys 51, St. John's College 41.
Tukaha.
It means stand strong.
To the great challenges we face. To stand strong with our brothers and sisters.
With our families and our communities.
With our supporters.
With those who lift us up to take on the world.
It's the name of our haka.
Tāringa whakarongo ki Aomori.
Stand strong.
Stand with us.
Tukaha, New Zealand.
Well, welcome back in the halftime break here at the Mel Young Memorial at St John's College. It's the home team in a little trouble, though, here with Anthony Corbin. And great to have you here with us, Corbs, especially with your local knowledge here of this team. And they're getting some questions asked of them, aren't they? Pookie Lendon's got to just quietly, play by play, get his team back into this.
Yeah, like Pookie showed confidence within his group, really not to time out during that first quarter, you know, when New Plymouth came out and hit them with the Davidson early on, and then it's been their role players that have come in and hit those corner shots. So it's a game, and as a coach, you want tough games for your players. You know, I don't think there's anyone really in any foul trouble. So for St John's, they just really need to tighten that defence up a little bit, and in saying that, it's not as if they're playing really bad defence. You know, those shooters are knocking down some key shots. I think we saw that sequence late in the second quarter, that corner three, and it was a contested shot. The player made it. So look, it's going to be a little bit of a game of chess, and you see Dave there, he's encircling his trigger points of what he wants to do. New Plymouth are moving the ball well, and they're creating shots for others, and they're quite unselfish doing that, which I think is a hallmark of a group of young men that want to share the ball, and a team that's well coached with someone of Dave's experience.
You're just confirming that two players with the 3 fouls, one from either side. William Polgrain, number 9 for New Plymouth, with 3 personals, and Kobe Olsen Martela, number 5 for St John's, with 3. So they've got to be careful. They wouldn't want to give up an early one, a fourth in this third quarter. That will then perhaps throw the rotation out of sync a little. Foul count is 9 for St John's, 11. It felt like more, and I think maybe in a way it was just how quickly some of those fouls came, but felt like more. But they've got to be wary of that, both teams, I'm sure, going into the second half. St John's already having booked a place in the semi-finals tonight. New Plymouth are playing for pride, and they're playing pretty well in that regard.
So obviously White ties in for Kobe Olsen. A quick ball reversal and post entry, which unfortunately was picked off. But again, St John's are letting them bring the ball up the floor and just letting them get set into their offense.
Davison wanting a call from the officials, didn't get one. They still have possession. Shot clock down to 7. Polgrain puts it up, tough angle. Drains the jumper though. Davison just looking to find that balance between being a scorer and a facilitator for New Plymouth, and he's doing it pretty well. St John's now, good ball movements. McBurney Griffin, Davison comes away with it, the steal. Now trying to turn that good D into quick transition offense, but St John's now have got back.
Middle on ball action again, he split it on the pass, just didn't get the timing quite right with that.
Davison will have to shoot here. It's a good shot clock awareness from Davison, if nothing else, but they went down a couple of blind alleys. McBurney Griffin, St John's, too strong in there, doesn't drop though.
Created a foul, just going to make his free throws.
Called on Tom Polgrain, 3rd personal, so he's another now that needs to be careful. McBurney Griffin converts from the line. Yeah, Anthony, you were talking about the 43 in reference to the 43 years a teacher for Mel Young. That's quite the number, isn't it, around this program still, and it's a part of that legacy, isn't it?
It is. I mean, you know, you look back at it, I mean, I think Akiva's first Waikato representative team, Mel Young was his coach, and that's why Akiva came to the school, and he is a pillar on which a sports program is being built on, which others are going to develop and take to another level. But he's, you know, he's impacted on a lot of people, and his legacy in New Zealand basketball, and you know his role with Basketball New Zealand for a number of years as a board member and roles with FIBA. He's created pathways for many, including myself and the likes of Brent Matahari, who's the Otago Nuggets coach, and a lot of young men. And it's just good to see that history is retained.
On the fast break, they've got to capitalise on those. They don't. St. John's come back at them now. Lally.
Nice pass.
Outlet pass, and then the finish with an exclamation mark. McBurney Griffin, I think, realising the situation they're in, says, let's lift the energy in the gym.
St. John's staying in their zone, are they?
Plymouth don't look flustered at all here, Corbs, and there's the end result. They're just calmly going about their work. This is so impressive.
Composure is the key, and they're showing it at the moment.
Was it Jacob Carr with the three? I think it might have been.
Yep.
If not Jacob, take the credit.
Well-drilled players, they take their shots.
Carr again, open momentarily.
Nice cut off the ball. That's good vision. It's an unfortunate result because the offensive execution was very good. He's declined the layup, and he's kicking back to his trail player, Finlelli.
Yeah, it was good recognition from Whiteside. I have no doubt he was about to be blocked had he tried the layup.
Yeah, he's brought energy. And it's something St. John's need a lot of at the moment.
Here to mate. Clarkson.
Got over the top of it.
Went searching for a look at the basket, and then St. John's cough it up again. That's a cheap turnover.
It is. I mean, it was a result of good defense from St. John's. It created that stop, but they just gave the ball back straight away. But hey, it's all about learning about sport and learning from the decisions you make. And Akiva's trailing down, so there must be a sub coming in for him. That's an important three by Finlelli in the corner.
They get it back into single digits.
Yeah.
St. John's.
Fatigue a factor, I think, with both teams. Davison's trailing down the floor, as is Akiva for his group. Subs coming in.
I glanced at the scoreboard and thought the three hadn't yet gone on, but maybe it had. It is a 10-point margin at the moment, and timeout called. So Dave Bublitz, was it, that wants to have a chat again, and this will be important for New Plymouth with the tempo they're playing. We've talked about it a lot, but Dave Bublitz needs to pick and choose his moments here, not so much from a tactical point of view, but just energy, and just continue to be able to refresh his players.
And he'll make an adjustment. That's what he's looking at there.
Of course, normally you wouldn't have the luxury of seeing a whiteboard, but let's go in there. It's schools basketball. Let's see what Dave's drawing up. What can you make from this, Corbs? Come on, give us the call.
He looks like some flare screen action, and what he's talking about there. It looks like he's got his two players here, and he's cross-court pass and a down screen. Yeah, I need to really pick up on myself. I'm a more verbal learner, so versus that St. John's zone, he might be looking at some sort of horns, double screen action, and a pin down.
As I say,
I'm saying that Pookie's most probably got to come out and play some man to change his defense up to upset his play. So it's going to be an interesting next couple of possessions to see what adjustments are made.
Typically, in broadcast coverage of basketball, those whiteboards out of bounds, if you like, but Why not? Let's go in there, bring you something a little bit different, and I'm sure Dave won't mind. A learning opportunity for everyone, not just his New Plymouth Boys players.
No shot clock.
Clarkson needs to get a shot up here. All right. Well, and that was really the bare minimum. Had to hit the rim, and they got the rebounds. Can they get a second chance? No, they can't.
Well, we've got an injury down here in the court. Play will continue. The referees need to see that, though. That is
As soon as there's an opportunity, they'll stop play here. As New Plymouth, the 3-ball is made, and now they'll call a halt to proceedings.
Jacob Carr, is it? I think he just was struck in the face on the drive there, accidental.
And he's still staying down.
Yeah.
He is up on his haunches now, so he's up off the floor. I can tell you. We won't necessarily highlight this for you, folks. There he is, just to give you an idea that he is up and okay. And we don't need to stay in there for any longer, folks, other than to show you that Jacob is going to be okay, albeit uncomfortable. So he'll get some attention. And let's hope that Jacob is indeed able to get back out on the floor, because he's been good for them the last few minutes. Energy, he's had that 3-pointer. He's gone at them with a lovely shot off the glass for another 2. There's a bit of feeling in this one now, isn't there? Both these teams desperate to try and win this one. Lally with the interception, then the foul from Davison.
Alan just needs to learn to, control his emotions a little there. He's, competitive. It's only his second team foul, but, he wouldn't want to pick up a quick third.
Lally directing proceedings, able to, with that ball handling skill that you spoke about, Forbes, that he's improved upon. They get the rebound, the second chance, and they make it pay. McBurney Griffin, here they come. St. John's making a bit of a run. New Plymouth, how do they respond?
Going for the on ball, and there's a little pin down on that ball side.
Polgrain, that wasn't far off, They get a second opportunity. They go back outside again and again. Oh, what a rebound. Again, offensive board. Davison eventually puts it in.
Yeah. That was just effort. They were relentless on the offensive glass, and they were rewarded with a momentum-shifting basket.
2 great looks at 3. Both were very close, but eventually, courtesy of that effort, they got the offensive board and the 2. And again now, Davison, he'll just go to work here, will he? Yeah. Oh, again, just needed to slow down a little. Lally will have all the time in the world just to lay this in.
Smart move. Sub coming in, Carl Robinson coming in for St. John's.
New Plymouth looking to try and resist this surge. It's down to 5. And the referee's called offensive foul. So that's going to go against William Polgrain. And that'll be foul number 4 on Polgrain. Well, who is it called on? It's 14.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not sure whether you picked that up through our microphones at home, folks, but referee very clear that made the contact before the screen had been set, first personal.
Yeah, and he's explaining it to the young player, and it's just to make an adjustment. Angles, screening, it's always difficult, we're near the end of the 3rd quarter. Fatigue's a factor as well.
Well, in one way, that's a good result for New Plymouth, because as the 3-ball goes up for St. John's, but I thought it was 4 on William Polgrain, but it wasn't. It was a first on Washer. Davison. Pretty fired up, isn't he? Carlin Davison.
Yeah. He's good. He is a spark plug of this team, and he is the leader. Still discussing the offensive foul on the last possession.
I can tell you just off to our right that Jacob Carr is preparing to come back into the game, so that's good news. Oh, how did New Plymouth get that? They've got to capitalise here. This is bonus basket material here. If they can make this, and with a three, no. Still they have it. Another offensive rebound, another three, no. And finally, McBurney Griffin says, let's put a stop to all this nonsense. Oh my goodness.
That sequence was 3 offensive rebounds.
Oh, those second chance points, boy, they can hurt a team, but they can start to load up if you can't make them.
A lot of physicality on that box out there.
And this is just getting a little scrappy at the moment. I think we're seeing tired legs, and I think we're seeing tired heads.
Yeah.
Do you go with that, Corbs? You know what I mean when I say tired heads? I think mentally they're just losing focus a little.
Well, I mean, New Plymouth, they've got the lead. They just don't have to change what they're doing. They've worked hard to build this lead, and they just don't want to, you know, lose their composure.
This effort from both sides has been huge, as we do see Carr back out there, and he's straight back into work, not shy of getting into that physical contact again. Good game of basketball, this.
Big rebound there by Carl Robinson, which is much needed for St. John's.
McBurney Griffin.
He's going to the rim.
Carr again. Davison off the floor at the moment. Petermate.
Pull in the screen. Got over it well.
Washer. Lucky to get away with it. What essentially was a blind pass. Shot clock counting down. That's an awkward shot. Just got a piece of the iron, nothing more.
Great scramble and close out there by Carl Robinson in the corner. And St. John's now, they've just really... Who is their point guard at the moment? If it's Jaden Lender, needs to get his hands on the ball and just seal things down.
It was a good look. Nothing wrong with the shot. In terms of where it was taken from Robinson, he was open. Just couldn't execute with the jumper. New Plymouth scoring's dried up a little here, and that again is a testament to the tiredness perhaps. What a basket. Carr's back. Jacob Carr showing no ill effects. Another triple. They edge out again. 9 points the lead. St. John's needed to reply, and they got a good reply. This time Robinson does make the basket.
They did, but Carroll there need to understand he's being double teamed, so there's an open teammate on the floor, and they're just got to get that ball on. All right, 4 subs in for St. John's.
Yeah, some weary legs. And at the moment, their focus is on how do we win this game. Not so much how do we get ready for a semi-final tonight. Olsen, Martita out there, playing with the 3 fouls from the first half, but avoided any further trouble since then. Robinson again's been the go-to on offense, hasn't he, the last few times down the floor, and he's firing up for them. Carr running into trouble. Does well to find a teammate, Polgrain. Carr again, they can't leave him open. They double up. They're going to run out of time here, and they give it away. Lally, does he pull up here? Foul. Probably not a bad one in the sense that Tom Polgrain was aware of fast break points there and just slowed them down. It is a 4th personal, though, for Tom Polgrain. So he's out of the game, for the moment anyway. Luke Hassel comes in.
So 10 seconds on the clock to the end of the quarter. And Lally with the ball.
Lally.
And it's blocked.
Oh, it was blocked. Telegraphed a little bit too. Washer's got to put the shot up. He doesn't get it up in time. Oh, the teammates were doing their best. He couldn't go and lay it in. Had to stop at the half court and shoot. But that's a quarter that's brought St. John's right back into the game. Not that they were ever out of it, but to that margin now very much reduced. New Plymouth boys holding on. Are they running out of legs? They've got a 5-point lead going into the final quarter. So they are going to have to go deep into the roster here, you would think, Dave Bublitz, to get this. So too St John's. Pookie Landon's going to have to ask questions of his bench players as we see details of the Schick 3x3 at ILT Stadium.
Yeah, we'll be in attendance there, Andrew. I'll be coaching the Waikato Wizards in the women's division of the Schick 3x3 Cup.
Mate, if there's 3x3 being played, you're there. I don't care where it is. If it's in someone's backyard, suddenly you're just sneaking over the fence there, having a look. I mean, your record is just impeccable, and congratulations to you for what you've done in the early days of 3x3 and delivering world championships. And you must take great delight in seeing some of those players that have come through that program and seeing them go on to different competitions, different levels of the game as well.
It is. It's quite funny. 2011, I chose a young man by the name of Ty Webster, and I was openly criticised by a number of high school coaches at this tournament. And I had great delight, and 12 months later, Ty Webster's a Tall Black. It's giving young men and young women an opportunity to compete on the world stage, and that's been a real pleasing aspect of it. Now we have new coaches involved in the program, Justine and Pete with the open men and open women, and it's creating pathways, and I think it's really important, for these young players. I can remember in Rimini in Italy, a lot of these players had never been to Europe before, and just experiencing that European culture and going to battle with European countries and like beating Italy in a world championship and I think double overtime in a semi-final.
Great
amazing
memories.
Achievement, and it's great to see Isaac Fotu, Ruben Tarangi and Ty Webster, Tall Blacks. James Ashby's gone and done his college career, and it was just good seeing those boys come through and players on a yearly basis.
Absolutely. Carlin Davison is back out there and straight back into the thick of it. Driving into traffic, foul is called. They were doing all they could to try and draw the foul, weren't they, New Plymouth?
Oh, look, Blake Carr just a little unlucky for scrambled defence. I just think for St John's, move on to the next play. The energy with if a call goes against you, move on, play the game, enjoy it. Things could be worse for us. And embrace the game and just focus on next play.
Washer drains the first. Every point vital here. You feel that this is going to be another quarter of attrition, that the premium is going to be on every basket, that defence will start to dominate. Often is the case when legs get a little weary, and both are made by Washer.
Notice St John's now gone with that two-guard lineup of Olsen and Waitai. So they've gone off a smaller guard lineup to match up with New Plymouth. And New Plymouth have gone back to that half-court trap, which has already created a turnover. There's 2 turnovers for St John's, back-to-back.
Here's Carr. Claridge goes and takes up his spot in the corner. Can't get the basketball out to him, though. Polgrain. And foul is called. Called on 6. Cale Robinson reaching in.
Yeah, the closeout was good. He jammed the shoulder, but he just put his hands down and made contact on the body.
14 on the shot clock. Oh, it's over the top of Washer. They just get that wrong.
Yeah,
and Lally
getting to the rim. It's nice.
does well. Always had the advantage there in reach over Jacob Carr, who did all that he could physically, just unable to match it with Lally. Claridge bringing the ball down court for New Plymouth. Local fans find voice, try and encourage their team over the line.
It's a nice pass.
And the foul is called. Just left terra firma there, did Panere Waitai. And as soon as you get yourself in the air, you are in trouble. And again, as a learning experience, Claridge, if that was a Ty Webster, immediately tries to put the shot up. Get yourself to the line.
Yeah.
And that's the learning of these schools players.
Nice rebound.
Sure, they'll look at tape and coaches will go over those sorts of moments with them. Beautiful pass. Lally or under pressure. I'll tell you, Washer did a great job on D, but Lally was just too good. Wanted the foul, but I think Washer went straight up there.
He protected the ball well and finished. 3-point game.
Claridge hasn't had many minutes. And that's a good handle, good pass, and then Carr lets it slip through.
Unfortunate. It's a great read, just the finish.
New Plymouth slowly just feeling the breath on the back of the neck now, and it's St. John's charging at them. Lally, good pass. Baseline cut from Robinson, didn't get rewarded.
Unfortunately. And look, it was a mirror of the previous play for New Plymouth. So look, it was a 3-point game.
Offensive foul. Not sure who it's called on here yet. On 4.
Yeah.
On Washer, so has had another screen. Illegal.
He just reacted a little bit with a push.
Okay.
And it was, unfortunately, just a frustration and the sudden hand movement. So look, he's just got to, he's had a really good game, and he's an extremely talented player. And it's
Well, they've got their top guard line back out there now, I imagine, to try and finish this. Clarkson and Hidemate for New Plymouth. Lally puts the shoulder down, creates the space, makes the basket. 1 point in it. New Plymouth hanging on.
middle on ball again. And Cody's done a good job there. Nice help from Poneri.
Carr with the drive. I deserve better.
He did, and that was great read and way to attack the defense.
St. John's now with the opportunity to take a lead. And Lally does not get a result, and it's New Plymouth possession. Good sportsmanship there with Washer helping Lally back up off the floor. McBurney Griffin checks back in for St. John's.
Jacob Carr there, that last defensive possession, showed the referees my hands are behind my back, I'm not reaching, and did a very good job of staying in front of his man.
Carr again on that arc to the hoop, draws the foul. Pushing foul. Finn Lally wants to have a chat about it.
I think that's the same rule applies for both teams. No chatting, just play.
Third personal for Lally.
And fourth for St. John's.
So one more. Well, essentially, they're in the penalty now.
Yeah.
Next foul puts New Plymouth on the line. Carr. That's his go-to, isn't it?
Yeah.
That is his meat and drink. He just puts the shoulder down and drives to the hoop, takes the contact and makes the finish. They needed that basket. St. John's. White tight. Lally, they're going to have to put it up here. Shot clock down to 3. White tie from a long way out. Look at that high arc. They get it back again, another 14 seconds on the shot clock. McBurney Griffin just bounds his way in. Carr for 3. Oh, thought about it. Washer gets the board and the foul. And that is just energy. That is just heart and effort from Washer.
Yep.
And these are quick fouls now on Finn Lally. He has 4 personal fouls. As Davison with another breather, and I'm sure he'll be back to play the last 3 minutes or so. And so Gareth Washer goes to the line. I'll be very surprised if Lally's left on the floor. Anthony?
No, subs are coming in. Quick one.
It shows, doesn't it, how a couple of quick, relatively cheap fouls as McBurney Griffin gets the board. Now Lally's got to play careful here, hasn't he?
Yeah, he does. Just got to play the game.
White tight. Robinson. That's off St. John's, and now New Plymouth can break. They've got a 3-on-1 here. Robinson. Oh, and they've messed it up. Oh, that's unlucky because they almost had too much time. They almost had too many options.
Yeah.
Rather than going direct to the basket. That's unfortunate. You could see the intent there from Trent Clarkson.
And if you're talking to young Carl Robinson, he'll say it was his defence that distorted that in this round one.
Yeah, meanwhile, Lally has headed to the bench for the moment.
Griffin's wide open there. Yeah, he put his hands on it, unfortunately.
So, is that 3 on Washer or 4 on Washer as well? Just check with our score bench. Oh, it's only 2. Okay.
Yeah,
That's why they have that job relating to math and I don't, Anthony. It was never my strong suit. As McBurney Griffin makes the basket and we are tied up. So St. John's College have been trailing for more or less the entire game.
Nice close out. 10 on the shot clock, middle on ball. They've got to be locked in here.
Clarkson, what a basket under pressure. Trent Clarkson.
Yeah.
Oh, and they've stolen it away. Carr gets his own rebound. Surrounded, so he comes back out. Good decision. Carr for 3. Puts the shoulder down again into the paint and the finish. Brilliant, Jacob Carr. Oh, what a game we've got here.
Making the most of their opportunities. They got the turnover there. And great finish.
That's well short. This is brilliant. Schools basketball action at the Mel Young Memorial. St. John's, the home team. They drew level at 69, but 4 quick points. And now New Plymouth could take it back out by 7. They do. What a response here from New Plymouth boys. The bench is world-leading cheerleading group at the moment, and they are up. Look at this, look at this. This is what it means to these young men. Timeout called St. John's, and Cookie Lendon's just going to have to draw things up again and try and find a way back into this again. 4 minutes 17, 7 points. They're right in the match, right in the game, but gosh, they drew level, Anthony, and then New Plymouth had the answer.
I mean, a couple of things there. Finn Lowley 4 fouls, and they're on the penalty with their team fouls as well. So they're being a little conservative defensively. But what's happening is these New Plymouth guards are turning the corner and getting to the rim too easily. So that's the adjustments they're going to have to make. It's a team game, and all these players for New Plymouth are contributing on both ends of the floor.
So they are all eyes and ears on Dave Boblitz to just have a listen and see what's being drawn up, and also just I'm sure receive just some calming words of advice. Don't play the emotion, play the game, play what's in front of you, stay in the moment.
It's his guards that are doing the damage, and they're playing very well, and they're sharing the ball, and it's just that dribble drive, dribble penetration down the middle that's creating problems for St. John's. If they help off the shooter, they're giving up a corner shot.
Tafara Crown is out there and inbounding for St. John's.
See Finn Lally back in the game.
Here he is. Possession now, Lally. Robinson. Just for a moment, it was a hint of a double team, and they do, through clever passing and movement, they get the easy bucket round the back. Max Pierce. Snuck in from that weak side. New Plymouth. Davison. Just gone a bit quiet in scoring, but he could finish strongly here and help his team big time. Lally, aware of running down a bit of a blind alley there, came back out. Robinson off the glass.
Just going basket for basket at the moment, aren't they? But Davidson, lovely move last possession. Just, got Lally out of the way, going at him on 4 fouls and completed the basket.
Clarkson catches the net, but not the rim. Lally now. Good defense, Davison. Just stayed strong, stayed in front, and the basket and the foul.
That's a momentum shifter.
Max Pearce. What a couple of big baskets in the last 30 seconds. This to bring them to back within 2. Just over 3 minutes to play. Max Pearce is good and assured from the line.
2-point game, a walk-up situation. And we're going to match Finlelli up on with his 4 fouls.
Davison thought for a moment of the 3, goes back outside, then on the drive, then back to Davison. Lally read it though. That was a little sort of 2-on-5 basketball there for a moment.
So John's really going with this point forward scenario of Carl Robinson or Finlelli bringing the ball up the floor. Again, they reckon that sort of flex cut and they're going to throw it into Akiva.
Lally had to turn and shoot, got a good look in the end. Didn't drop though. Davison now for New Plymouth. Every time St. John's have come back at them, New Plymouth has had a response. What have they got here? Carr. Bittermate, back to Carr.
He's got to go at Finlelli on 4 fouls.
Knowing that Lally has the 4, who's this on? Oh, Lally looks around nervously.
That'll be on Pearce. Max Pearce, won't it? Yep.
Well called.
Really for Max, he's got to push up on that, doesn't he? And meet that driver.
Second personal, but in the bonus here now, so regardless of whether it was in the act of shooting, and essentially it was, but they're in the bonus. Carr will go to the line here, and these are big free throws now. Takes a big breath, and nothing but net. These are great moments for young players to test their mettle, to put themselves in these pressure situations. They get the rebound. This is bonus stuff here now. Davison, foul. It's Pearce again. So, Carlin Davison will go to the line.
It's really the 2 guards, isn't it? Carr and Davison are the momentum shifters for this New Plymouth team. Everything they're doing. Good decision making. You know, Jacob Carr, he's come in here and he's produced a big, big performance for his team.
Davison comes up short with the first. The lead is 3. Take this out beyond the 1 possession game. He does. Just over 2 minutes to play. New Plymouth already lost a close one against Mana, 80-78. Can they reverse that scenario here against St. John's, who are already St. John's in the semi-finals? McBurney Griffin. Beautiful turn from the big man. Can't get the finish though. Davison. Oh, goodness me. Finlelli playing with fire there. Davison through the contact and made the basket. Big bucket, isn't it? They're back out to 6. This would bring it back and off the rim. They get the rebound. Gosh, I thought that was the shooter's roll of shooter's rolls. Lally from a long way downtown. The rebound fight is crucial. St. John's get it again. McBurney Griffin puts that big left shoulder down, goes to the bucket. That's a better percentage play.
4-point game.
Lally.
Over a minute to go. This is going to be a crucial possession. St. John's need to stop.
And they get it. Turnover. Robinson caused it.
Score quickly.
Robinson, the reverse. And right under the bucket, Lally fighting for all he's worth. The foul here.
Is it baseline?
Is it Tom Polgrain? If it is, it's 5. 5th personal on Tom Polgrain. Tom's only just realised. He's only just realised. Okay, and that's why there was confusion. It is called on 5, and well done the officials. So change the call. Trent Clarkson picks up the foul, so Polgrain continues to play on 4, and that's a 3rd for Clarkson. So all's well. There's a couple of frightened looks for a moment, but all's well, and both teams now in the bonus. That's a fourth team foul. So just sorting through. This will be from the baseline. So this was on the rebound, on the floor. So Lally was not in the act of shooting.
No.
Robinson. Trail by 4. Oh, that was a hesitation, and it's often can be terminal, can't it? Instinctively, if you do hesitate, the moment was lost, and the shot came up short.
Quick substitution there. Coach Public just brought in another big for his guard. With the stoppage, brings his guard back in.
So very much in that playing defense and offense, play-by-play. Foul here from Tawhara Crown. And they'll walk the length of the floor, and that'll put Clarkson on the line.
It's going to be crucial free throws, aren't they? Needs to make both these to really, you know, extend that margin.
Is that the approach from here, Corbs? Do we take it that that is the approach from St. John's now? Start fouling?
They have to be. The
46 on the clock.
Yeah, the clock's their enemy.
Clarkson has been one of these live wire guards. He's been a spark plug for his team. Contributions right across the board from New Plymouth boys. Likewise with St. John's College. It's been one heck of a basketball game, really has. And still, we're not done. Makes them both ice through the veins. Timeout call. And
I presume Coach Lendl will advance the ball. He'll have the 14-second shot clock with the 6-point margin. What's his decision got to be? Is he go for the quick 3 or take the 2 and reduce it to a 4-point or 3-point margin? It's going to be interesting.
Put yourself in Pookie Lendon's shoes. What do you do? Surely a good quick 2 is enough at this stage, especially if it's only taking 5 or 6 seconds off the clock.
Yeah, the quick 2 and you know, you're pressing, you're looking for deflections. You just got to be careful. Finlally in the game on 4 fouls that you don't want him to pick up his 5th, and you lose one of your main offensive players.
So Dave Bublitz just calmly conveying, and this is fantastic also, just seeking that response from his players. It's not a one-way conversation. Totally engaging the players in the process. And that's why we've got you alongside Anthony Corbin. You've called it. They are going to advance, because a 14-second shot clock is not the enemy of St. John's. They need a quick look here. They need to run an offensive play, and they'll have something here they've worked on, and I would imagine it's something in the vicinity of that 6 or 7 seconds. Get the shot up and then adjust to get a stop. Get a steal if they can. They're struggling to get it in play. Robinson, where do they go to? Gets to the elbow, drives into the lane, gets the shot up under pressure, and New Plymouth have done well. New Plymouth have done superbly well. So again, they walk the length of the hardwood. Foul, and amongst all of that was called on McBurney Griffin, his second. But who's going to the line here? Is it Jacob Carr?
He looks that way. He's
make their free throws, and they're almost in that territory of just make 1 of 2. There's 1. And then play some good D. Slow St. John's down. No easy buckets. Both teams in the penalty, though, so New Plymouth can't foul. And again, free throw shooting at the end here could be the difference. Jacob Carr. They led by as many as 19, New Plymouth. Robinson for 3. Oh, what a basket. That keeps it very much alive. Now they need a stop or a quick foul, and they've... Just pausing, folks, because referee right in front of us, and I'm just hearing that instruction. Dave Bublitz just set a great screen. So, and he'll take the opportunity to call timeout. What was happening there, Corbs? Was it just the discrepancy with the clock?
Discrepancy with the clock, yeah. I think it kept running and they didn't stop it off the made basket. So we asked for the reset. Now, what will New Plymouth do? Advance. 14. They know what's going to happen. St. John's have to stop the clock here.
Well, if they don't advance, the danger there for New Plymouth is they know that St. John's are going to be full court. They're going to be all over them and putting pressure on at least advance. And you're over the half court, and they're going to foul.
Yep.
They're going to foul. So having a 24-second clock is not necessarily going to change that. They're going to foul. So expect New Plymouth to advance here. So what a performance. The offense has dried up a little. It dried up a lot at times in the second half, but it's the nature of the game. It was a shootout in that first half. Pretty sure New Plymouth 51. They led by 10 at the main break. They've had just 35 points since, but it's been an arm wrestle.
As expected, and it's been, you know, momentum shifts, but New Plymouth have built a lead and maintained it, and it's been those two guards that have really been those energizer bunnies for their group.
So St. John's first will want the steal. First they'll want the steal. They get it on. It's gone out of court. Whose ball? Whose ball? It's still New Plymouth.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. And at the most 1 second will come off the clock here. If that. But St. John's thought they'd got what they were after there. This is one of those defensive plays where the instruction is steal. If you can steal cleanly, steal. But if you can't, then foul. Don't let any time go off the clock.
14 on the shot clock.
So 14 and 30, so essentially no time off the clock. If anything, it was 2/10 with the deflection. New Plymouth just have to get the ball in hand here. Force St. John's to foul. They're struggling. St. John's, what a brilliant effort. What a brilliant effort on the inbounds. There's still work to do here, mind you. Robinson now. New Plymouth just have to get a stop. They might just try for a three. They've been denied though. Lally with the two. New Plymouth were happy to let him have it. Time is ticking by. Can they trap them? They can. St. John's coming back at them. Lally, they still need to make baskets. Oh, they've missed the layup. McBurney Griffin goes in and gets it. 9 seconds. We'll have to check with the officials. It might be a couple more, but that margin down to 1. And wow, what a turnaround in the last 20 seconds or so. Mad scramble, and they're putting 12 seconds back on the game clock. So the shot clock is off, and New Plymouth boys now lead by 1.
Very physical on the sideline here, wasn't it, with that catch? And they created the turnover, made that extra pass. But again, you know, New Plymouth have got the ball. I guess the adjustment they've got to make is they've got to get it in this time. They had a 5-second call. Previously, they nearly got the inbounds pass intercepted, so they just need to make that adjustment, get their good free throw shooters in, and on the catch.
That's the conundrum as well, though, isn't it? Get the free throw shooters in, but also get players in there that can take the inbounds and run a play.
Yep.
Now, they're at a disadvantage height-wise. So it's not as though they have a couple of players that they can just post up in there and throw the ball up above them. So Davison is probably going to be the tallest, and he's not an outright big. So that's the challenge, isn't it?
It is, and I mean, for St. John's, they leave Lally in with the 4 fouls, and maybe they put him on the inbounder so he can't foul, and they've got their other 4 players to designate, you know, what they're going to do. They're going to be switching down screens, cross screens, and make sure if they're going to stop the clock, they do it when the players caught the ball. They don't want to give up an unsportsmanlike.
So McBurney Griffin, Robinson, Lally, Pearce. It's a tall lineup out there. And I think Tafa to Crown, yes. And he's played the last 3 or 4 minutes. And Jacob Carr has the inbounds for New Plymouth. Pressure on Carr to find the target. Can they set a screen? Can they get someone open? Davison. Davison's the target. They've got the ball in Davison's hands, and he's probably the right player. And they offload. Carr, they don't need to shoot. They don't need to shoot. Just draw attention. Well played, New Plymouth. Well played, New Plymouth. Really superbly done. That was following the coach's instructions.
Composure. And they got the ball to their leader, and the composure was excellent.
Dave Bublitz just to the right of us saying, how was there only 8 seconds? When you want the time to tick away, it feels like it goes in slow motion. Meantime, it was Finn Lally with the foul in amongst all of that. So that's Finn Lally out of the game. So that does make a difference with 3 seconds on the clock to lose an offensive weapon like that. So Lally is out of the game. And coming in is Ty Wetiti. Jacob Carr, though, with 2 huge free throws here. Carr makes the first. This is wonderful to see young players engaged in such a battle. Just great to see basketball hoops being played. Carr with the second with 3 seconds on the clock. Misses, but that'll take time off. They can't foul here. They can't foul New Plymouth. They can't reach in. They can't reach in. Time is up and New Plymouth win it. Brilliant game of basketball and they are celebrating, and why not? They've had a tough tournament, but they get a win in the end, and it's a superb win over St. John's College. Great game of basketball. Anthony Corbin, a brilliant exhibition and a brilliant advertisement for schools basketball here at this Mel Young Memorial Tournament.
Certainly has been. I mean, pre-game, I just was of the opinion that Dave Bublitz would have this group prepared for this morning. They've arrived, they've brought the energy, and they've played well. It's been a physical game. You know, they've allowed both teams to bang a little bit, but down the stretch, the composure of this New Plymouth team under very trying circumstances was impressive to watch. And congratulations to New Plymouth boys. Again, they'll have another game, I presume, later today, and it'll be tomorrow morning. And look, it's been an exciting game. Went to the wire. Both teams had their opportunities. Composure and New Plymouth down the home stretch nailed those free throws, and really, just a performance of note. I mean, Jacob Carr has been outstanding from New Plymouth today. Obviously, Cullen Davison, but we expected that over what was seen from him from the NBL showdown. And as we are just getting ready now for Andrew to have a quick chat with players from both teams, including Finn Lally from St. John's.
Thanks, Corbs. Finn, semi-final to look forward to later today, but I know that one hurts. That was a game played in great spirit, but what a battle it was between you two teams.
Yeah, for sure. I think we started off way too slow. I think everyone was still feeling the effects of our big game last night. Everyone was tired, everyone was a bit asleep, and then, came back late. So I'm just proud of the boys that's probably stuck in it a bit more than we.
Yeah, and you did stick in there because you were down by as many as 19, but you always had the belief and just came back play by play.
Yeah, exactly. I think, the game's not over till the final whistle blows, obviously, so we just had to stay at it. And, we've still got games ahead, so we're just going to look forward to that now. Forget about it.
I've asked this question of the guys earlier this morning in the earlier game. How cool is this just to be playing? Are you sick of the word scrimmage this year?
Yeah, I think we're all just grateful to be able to come together and play, but, Nationals would have been fun for us, but, obviously this is just an alternative, and we're just lucky to get it, I think.
Hard lines on the result, but good luck to rebound later, excuse the pun, for the semi-final.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you very much.
So there's Finn Lally with his thoughts, and Corbs, another comment or two from you before we catch up with Jacob Carr, but just remarkable composure from young players. In fact, Jacob's coming in now to join us. We'll go straight to Jacob. Congratulations. First of all, what a wonderful game of basketball from both teams.
Yeah, it was great. Obviously, they're one of the best teams in the country, so going into it, knew it was going to be a real tough game, and just first quarter we got out to a good lead and then managed to keep it for the rest of the game, so yeah, big ups to the boys.
You played at a very high intensity, very high tempo. Was that part of what Coach Bublitz was wanting you to do here right from the get-go?
Yeah, sort of last night's game sort of a little bit of flare out, so he wanted me to do it again. So, you know, just lead by example. The team followed me, got the dub, so that's all that matters.
Are those moments what you love as a player, as a young player, going to the line, 3 seconds on the clock and free throws?
I'm not going to lie, I'm shooting like 45% from the free throw line, so I was scared, but no, I managed to make the ones that counted, so yeah.
That means a lot to the team. Saw the support from the bench. There was a lot of energy the whole way through. Results haven't gone your way, but wow, that one has today.
Yeah, I was going into it, we knew it was going to be tough, and then, you know, getting the dub against a team of that higher level is just, yeah, real good, real happy with the team.
Good stuff. Congratulations. Enjoy that. Well done. So a wonderful game of basketball and a wonderful advertisement for schools basketball here at the Mel Young Memorial Tournament. And keep in mind that for New Plymouth boys, they were out of contention for the semi-finals, but still they put in a display of so much effort and so much commitment. Brilliant stuff, brilliant. St John's, though, well, they know that they will go on this afternoon and play in the semi-finals. And we look forward to your company again. 5 o'clock our first semi-final, 7 o'clock the second semi-final. Look forward to your company then on Sky Sport Next.